is that it kind of reminds me of what is it? What am I thinking of? Michelangelo? Kind of.
Sure. You
Like the
sculpting
old,
David? Is that
I guess, yeah.
with the little tiny penis? Is that the one?
Huh?
What? David with the little dick.
No, I'm trying to think. What was the inventor that did
Da Vinci.
Da Vinci? Thank you. God, I'm getting a mix up. I'm like Michelangelo. No, I was trying to think. I'm sitting here thinking Voyager. I'm like, who was Janeway hanging out with in Voyager? Like, what?
Welcome to the Good Games Podcast. My name is James.
And I'm Justin.
And it's just two of us.
Yep.
Leo fell asleep, and we're recording without him.
Yeah.
Because he fell asleep. That's what you get for falling asleep. Don't fall asleep. We'll go record without you. Leo's a sleepy boy, but also I'm not sure how much of Besiege he actually played, which is our topic for today.
Yeah. Which he has no right to be tired right now because my kid's been sick the entire weekend.
Yeah.
And he's been getting up in the middle of the night, like last night. Okay, so last night he gets up at 2:00 in the morning and he just goes into our bedroom and he goes, "Hungry? Banana?" I'm like, "You want a banana?" I'm like, "All right, fine." So I took him down to the kitchen and I gave him a piece of a banana, gave him something to drink, and put him back to sleep. So I didn't go to bed till like 4 a.m.
Nice.
Yeah. Running on fumes.
That's all right. That's good. Yeah, it's a shame Leo's not here. I really wanted to ask him about. I read this article because I know Leo's really into online chess and just like chess in general. Apparently, there's this huge two of the most prominent online chess streamers got into a fist fight over a game of chess.
Ooh.
So I wanted to ask him what the fuck that was about. Yeah, and I recognize their names only because they did like this collaboration. They had the Melee community and the chess community, and they had all the Melee players had like a little chess tournament, and they were each Melee player was assigned one chess streamer. And I recognized a couple of the chess streamers that were in the fist fight because they were helping the Melee people learn. They were like coaching them through chess.
Okay.
Yeah. Fist fight in chess. I don't know. I was hoping Leo would be here to explain what the fuck that is.
I could talk to him about it next time.
Yeah. I'm sure I'll forget. Anyway, yeah. Besiege.
Yeah. Besiege is it's a sandbox game. So if you don't know what a sandbox game is, essentially you're just given a game that really, even though there might be a goal or there may not even be a goal, the whole idea is that you have freedom to use all the tools and things to essentially do whatever the hell you want. It's sandbox essentially means build whatever the fuck you want, do whatever the fuck you want, right? But that's a general idea. It's like almost like a Da Vinci-esque kind of building game where you're building what seem like Da Vinci type machines.
Yeah.
And the general idea of the levels is that you just go through and do certain goals, but you have to almost build a new machine for each level you play because there's some kind of unique thing that happens.
Yeah, there'll be like a simple goal, like, the starting levels are like get from point A to point B, and you just have to build a machine that moves and you can vaguely steer it, and then it gets more complex, like you have to build a machine that can fly and control it, which turns out it is very hard to build a flying machine that is controllable. But yeah, you're right. It's all like there's like a like an old timey sort of like. If you ever see like the weird like sketches and blueprints for like Da Vinci's, like he came up with this, like you like pedal it like a bicycle, but it turns. It turns like this crazy spiral helicopter blade, and he was trying to make a flying machine. And it was like somebody saw that sketch in Da Vinci's art book and was like, yes, that is our theme. We're going to make a game around that. Yeah.
But essentially you're destroying and taking over other continents by the end goal being you're doing some kind of crazy thing where you're stealing or destroying the end thing. Well, it really doesn't matter. The whole point is that you're building crazy machines.
Right.
It is. I mean, to be honest, I put a lot of hours into this game.
I probably didn't put that much time into it as you did, but I played a lot of the single player and obviously a little bit of the multiplayer, which I didn't even know it had. But yeah, I played, I think, like the first world and maybe first half of the second world. So yeah. I got the basics of it down. I've never. So like you can build, and there are no, like you were saying, there are no like set solutions to these puzzles. It's like here is your goal. You know, you have to get from point A to B, or like destroy these targets, or pick up these items and transport them from here to there, and you can accomplish that by any means necessary, like whatever the fuck you want to build. I have never played a video game where I've been more confident, because I play a lot of puzzle games. I like puzzle games. I've never played a puzzle game where I felt more confident that my solution was not the intended solution by the developers. Like every single level, I was like, I'm going to build a machine that just barely works, and then it's going to cheese out this solution. Like, nailed it.
Yeah, that's pretty much like half the machines are going to end up building anyways, is just cheese machines. Like, so like the other day we tried the multiplayer, or the multiverse as they call it, to where we all can hop into a sandbox. Like you could do a multiplayer mode, or there's different modded levels that people have made. And I was showing you, James, it was literally just a platform with balloons and a propeller in the middle.
That was brilliant.
With a drill, and I pivoted a counterweight so that
as soon as I saw your steering, what do they call that? Like a steering lever with a weight on it. I was like, oh my god, that's brilliant. So simple yet so brilliant.
And the thing is, like, when you put in as much time as you do me, so okay, I noticed this with some of your machines that I know you had saved, was your first intention is to try and build something that you can steer, right? You put in the steering panel. I eventually went, because you can change the key bindings on the machine parts. I eventually just started doing tank controls. Yeah. It is so much better to do tank controls, and I bind it to the number keys. And it makes turning much easier. It makes moving much easier, and the wheels don't break off if you turn too much.
So you don't even have like a steering. What is that? An axle or a lever?
Yeah, it's pretty much like it's like an axle, or there is a steering like arm thing, but those can get like wonky and out of sync. So I started doing my big thing was doing tank controls.
Brilliant!
Just having the two sets of wheels, so if I need to turn, I just kind of go backwards. So it's like I bind it to like 7, 9, 4, and 6 for forwards and backwards of each side.
So you have like a parallel set of wheels and then a perpendicular set of wheels?
No. They're just a row of wheels. And as long as if you want to turn, you just have the wheels go opposite. If you want to go forward, obviously you have the wheels go forward. And if you want to, so that's why I bind them to 4 different keys. So like 7 and 9. So 7 would be forward left, 9 would be forward right, and then forward would be backwards left, and 6 would be backward right.
It's like
it's tank controls.
Yeah. It is tank controls, but it helped me to think of like an RC car where like you have 2 sets of powered wheels.
It's 4-wheel drive essentially.
Yeah. Because I tried to build like a car where the front wheels actually turn and the back wheels don't. But yeah, that you're right. The front wheels break off so much. That's
tank
brilliant.
Controls, that's the way to go. Tank controls.
That is brilliant. I didn't even think of that. Yeah. Fuck. I got to go back and build some more machines now. I was definitely cheesing out a lot of the flying levels, because you get to a lot of flying levels where it is intended to build a like machine that you can both fly in the air and control, which is why I found your like moving weight was brilliant. Instead, I built a machine. This is my cheese solution. I built a machine that could survive, that had enough of like the buoyancy balloons that could survive falling all the way down to the very bottom of the level, and then I would just move on the ground, drive on the ground, steer my car, and then just and then like position myself where I needed to position, and then use my Da Vinci helicopter to just slowly lift back up.
I didn't realize there was a floor. I thought
On
like
some
if
of
you
those
went
levels,
down.
if you go down far enough, there's just a floor, and you can just drive around on the floor. Yeah,
That's not fair. That's not fair.
No, but it's yes, it's the fucking unintended solution. Which, like, I've done that enough on these levels where I'm like, is the unintended solution actually the intended solution? Like, are you intended to come up with like the weirdest possible way to beat these things? Because it seemed like that's all I could ever do. Like, I would see a goal and I'm like, I have no idea how the fuck you're supposed to do that, but I'm just gonna like try a weird strategy and then keep iterating on a weird strategy until it eventually just barely works.
Yeah.
That seems like every single level in Besiege is that design process. Is let me start out with something weird and iterate on weird.
Yeah, I'm on the third world, I think it is, and I'm on the very last one, and you pretty much have to destroy like a shit ton of stuff. And it's ridiculous because what they do is they put it up on a high rise a little bit with stairs. So you can't easily just crawl up there with a regular like wheels. You almost have to make it finessable to climb. So I remember like one of the things I tried to build was just a massive like crazy thing that releases a bunch of saws on pivoting like machines, so the saws just go fucking batshit crazy and try to destroy everything. Doesn't work though, but still trying to figure it out. But that's the great thing about this game is like, even though like it could get aggravating or it could get like annoying, you're like, oh god, like you're like, I'm trying to figure this out. You get lost in it because you're like, okay, well, what if I try adding this, or what if I put brackets to reinforce this, and then you're just trying and trying and trying and trying and trying, so you realize you got like 50 hours in the game. Not really.
Yeah. You can easily lose yourself in just like iterating on an idea, just like slowly modifying a thing until it finally works. Yeah. So yeah, we also tried out the multiplayer. I wasn't even aware there was multiplayer until Leo suggested that we play the multiplayer. I'm like, excuse me, there's multiplayer? And the experience of playing multiplayer was like, I briefly, way back when it was a big thing, I briefly tried some of the like online community levels for like Little Big Planet. And it was like the same experience where it's like completely different, and everyone has just taken the engine of Besiege and like modded a bunch of crazy shit to do like, hey, here's a racetrack now. You can like race. And like, that's not really what Besiege was like the single player is about, but like the engine is flexible enough that it allows for all these like crazy ideas and like mods you can download through like the Steam Workshop and everything. Which is cool.
Leo was having good fun with that.
Yeah, you and I had all of our like pre-made machines from like single player, and then like Leo was downloading like, hey, I found a jet engine, like that somebody just modded.
He's found a jet plane. He found like a war elephant.
Here's a Gundam, like a transformer that transforms from a minivan into a giant fucking Gundam.
Yeah, he found an Optimus Prime.
Yeah.
Mod, and he was just walking around destroying stuff with Optimus Prime.
Yeah.
But that's cool though.
That is super cool that the engine is flexible enough to allow for like creative people to just do whatever the fuck they want with that engine.
Yeah. And the thing is too, if you're ever having a hard time with the game does offer instructions on how to build certain things, like how to build an airplane, how to build, a moving thing. Yeah, there's a little place in there if like you're having a hard time like figuring out how to get like, if you want to make like an actual airplane with like a propeller, because you can build propellers, it'll tell you what you need to do to create essentially the base engine, and then it'll tell you what kind of wings you need and that stuff, and then you can kind of play on that and experiment with it a little bit. There's also a mode in the game where it's just completely open to you, if single player, if you want to just experiment with building things.
Yeah, there's like a free play level editor, a sandbox in the sandbox.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, it's.
I wonder how sound the mechanics of the Besiege physics engine are. Like, can you build? You know what I mean? Like, because you're talking about like building propellers and like building engines and shit. Like, how real is that, or is there some like hard coded nonsense that you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it does seem like it's a bit floaty.
Yeah, I feel like this game and its engine lies at the intersection of like actual mechanical engineering and like total video game bullshit. It's got one foot in both camps.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like when you use like the propellers and stuff, it'll definitely, there's like a crazy amount of pull you get from them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and obviously the like umbrella propeller that lifts you up or whatever.
Yeah, that's not a real thing, right?
I mean, it's not a real thing, but it's,
yeah.
I don't know, but you know what? It does it well, and it if there is a line, it handles that line pretty well to the point where you really start experimenting with what you can do. It's obviously it's super not real physics engine, but you know, if there's a fine line, there's it's hard to see.
Yeah. No, it straddles the line well, but yeah, there is definitely a blurring of mechanical engineering and video game bullshit, and it's a little of both. Yeah, I think we were talking about yesterday when we were playing the multiplayer. I think there exists another version of this game that is just in a different universe that is just themed differently, and it's like robot themed, like. Because I've been watching so much BattleBots. They're a little mini endorsement. I've endorsed BattleBots before. I think maybe more than once. But the BattleBots television show, which is on Discovery now, Discovery Plus, is fantastic. And just like, because a lot of the challenges you do in Besiege are inherently geared towards destroying something. Like I feel like the game is very proud of its destructible environments.
Yeah.
So it's like, hey, fuck this shit up, and you're like, yeah. Like there's definitely a version of this game where you just build robots and like
you just build random things that just go crazy and spin around like crazy. I made like a merry-go-round like machine that just went forward and spinning with spikes.
Yeah, like that sounds like a crazy idea for a BattleBot. I definitely want the alternate version of this game that is robot themed.
I think I built two. I hate that I didn't save it, but I built one that had a bunch of pistons on it and it expanded. So you had to kill a bunch of people. So it expands. The people go running underneath because they're actually like focused on your center block. They're trying to get to your center block to destroy you.
So you're just exploiting the AI.
I expand it. And then when they come in, I close in on them and kill them.
This is the perfect illustration of my point of existing at the intersection of mechanical engineering and video game bullshit. Because you're exploiting the AI who are going for your like. Because any machine that you build in Besiege has to be built off of like this center block. So the AI is always moving towards your center block, and you just built pistons to smash them.
Yeah,
that's
so it expanded so that they all came in, and then I just closed in on them with a bunch of spikes, and then I had another set of pistons that dropped down and drilled them to death.
That's fantastic.
Yeah,
that's fantastic.
It didn't work out so great. I don't think I had actually like worked in killing them all, but that was the general idea.
That's fucking fantastic.
So that's where you get a bit of the satisfaction from this game too. Is like there are puzzles. There are ones where you're like, God damn, this is really hard, and then they just give you a destruction level every now and again. So that's like the serotonin, the like nice little rush you get. You're like, okay, I destroyed that shit. I broke down that castle. All right, let's go on the next one. So there's one that's like real bullshit. It took me the longest time. Where there's a block that you have to get. There's like a crystal or something, and it's in an area where it's anti-gravity.
Mm-hmm. So, you were telling me about that.
Yeah, and you have to get that crystal out of the anti-gravity area and to you in order to win. But the problem is like anytime you go to the anti-gravity area, you just completely lose everything. So everything just kind of starts floating away and you have no control. So I built a crossbow that shot a grabber with a rope on it, and I had to just keep resetting and aiming and trying to shoot for it. And once I finally hit it, I reeled it back towards myself, so I didn't have to. But that's the kind of shit it challenges you to really like figure out like what's the best solution.
Yeah, you can definitely think outside the box and come up with some crazy fucking ideas. And yeah, there's a lot of like, oh my god, that actually fucking worked.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking great. I don't know, anything else? Besiege? It's great.
It's a good game.
It's good. Physics.
I would recommend.
Puzzler.
Yeah, it's not too graphics crazy. You don't have to have anything super nutty like with the PC wise. Like if you have like standard stuff, it'll run. They don't make it too graphics like crazy, really.
And you would know because you just upgraded your PC.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, brand new PC.
Yeah. Brand new PC.
You can support us on Patreon. You can also support us for free by giving a like or a thumbs up or a comment or 5 stars or whatever the fuck. We are on Twitter. I think we're on like Instagram. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. Hey, search for us on Instagram and see if we're there. And then you can message us on Instagram if we are there. And if we're not, then you should email us at our email at goodgamescast@gmail.com. And we have a Discord. Get in our Discord. Do it. Get in it. Get in it.
Get in it.
Get in it.
Stick yourself in.
Stick yourself in. That's what we do. What the fuck is our top 5? Top 5 Sandbox Games.
Yeah. This was a hard one.
This was a real hard. I struggled with this one.
Yeah, because you look up Sandbox, but then you get just a bunch of open world shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Sandbox, though.
It seems like there's a very loose and mercurial definition of what a sandbox game is. So, like, I thought about that for a while. I was like, what the fuck is a sandbox game? And then I was like, okay, to me, a sandbox game is like something that has a very complex engine, like Besiege, or something that has a very detailed, like, simulation. And the fun of the game has to be playing around with the rules of the simulation or the engine, and that's what makes it fun. Like seeing what is possible in the simulation or engine, like that to me is what a sandbox game is. I think. I mean, and maybe that's what it is, not what it is to you, but that I thought about that for a while before I made my top 5.
Yeah, I pretty much generally tried to think of games that were just open to the player doing anything with the tools provided in the game, where you have like essentially an open freedom of doing anything. There could be a base game that you play, and sometimes there aren't. Sometimes you buy a game and really all it's based on is just building shit.
Yeah,
and doing weird things with it.
Yeah. Because there's definitely games on my list that are actual games, right? But yeah, I know what you're talking about. Like there is a mini game in the game of let me just fuck around and see what's possible in this game. Like, yeah. I don't know. Should we? I guess there's only 2 of us. I was thinking should we do a collaborative list since there's. I don't know. I mean, makes more sense. So the first thing I came up with was like SimCity, and like you may not think of that as a sandbox game now, but like I remember back in the day, you had like SimCity 2000 or like the original SimCity. I remember like somewhere on the install, it would install like pre-made maps. And there would be like, oh, here's like a big city map, and you could just load up that map. And then there were like disasters, and it was like, oh, hey, what happens in the city if there's a nuclear meltdown? Like, and then you would just like watch the city destroy itself. Like,
yeah. What if Godzilla attacked?
Yeah. What if there's a tornado? Yeah.
There was never one tornado. You always made 50 of them.
50 tornadoes. And like,
what if there was an earthquake?
You could play the game of like, I'm gonna build a city, but like also you could just fuck around with it. So like that was, I think, my earliest experience with like not necessarily engaging with the game in the intended way, and instead like I'm gonna mess around and see what's possible within the rules of this engine. So yeah, SimCity, I came up with that. Okay. Do you want to go back and forth or just throw games out? I don't know. How should we do this?
We can throw games out. I mean, we could do a back and forth thing too. So I'll just give one of mine. I put on Planet Coaster.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, Planet Coaster is of the Planet series games, Planet Coaster is fun because you could just build ridiculously crazy coasters, and it doesn't really have to like work with the game. You can even there's a lot of customization too you can do. You can build like weird things. You can have things modded into the game to essentially create like a crazy theme park or crazy roller coasters, or you can literally mimic like real life theme parks. I think like someone's made Busch Gardens entirely. Someone's tried to make some of the Disney lands. I think someone was attempting Universal.
Is that actually a game series? Because you said like the
yeah. There's like there's Planet Coaster, Planet Zoo, Planet.
Fuck, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, I know Planet Coaster though. That's the one that I like to play.
Yeah, Planet Coaster. Yeah, it's like a weirdly relaxing game to play too.
I forget if it was the same studio that just did the Jurassic Park experience or something like that.
I know what you're talking about. I don't think that's the same studio.
Is it? Oh, yeah. It feels like the same thing.
I didn't even know if those other games are the same studio, because I thought Planet Coaster, I don't know, maybe I'm just talking out of my ass, I don't know. Anyway, I also like this one is pretty borderline, but I've seen people do some crazy creative stuff that I know like is like technically possible with the engine, but not really what the engine was designed for. Mario Maker. There's like any of the like top upvoted Mario Maker levels are always like, hey, I built like a weird approximation of Donkey Kong in the Mario Maker engine, like the original Donkey Kong, like arcade Donkey Kong, or like, hey, I made like a quiz show in like there's all these like weird, or like, you know, all the music levels, but I guess those are more intended. But yeah, I've seen some like crazy, like, oh, I made like a weird version of Pong in Mario Maker. Like, I don't know. It's wildly impressive what, like, if you think outside the box and like have a really good understanding of how all the tools in Mario Maker work, you can come up with some crazy fucking shit.
No, that's a good one. Pull up my list here. So I had. Oh, so there's a game that it came out not that long ago that I thought was pretty cool, and it's fun, and I haven't really had a chance to play it myself. I do want to play it, but I've seen other people play it, and it looks very good. Is BeamNG?
Oh yeah, BeamNG.drive. Hell yeah.
So it's cars with crazy like crashing physics, with like it actually has like engine failure, and it'll tell you damage on the car, but then you can also build crazy levels. You can custom build the cars a bit, have them go fast, have them have like jet engines. So it's just one of those games where it's just fun to just dick around in it and just crash a car, race a car, or do whatever nutty thing you want to do.
There's a fantastic web series by Polygon with Griffin McElroy called Car Boys.
Oh yeah, I remember watching that. That's where I think I first learned about the game.
Yeah, and the entire premise of the web series Car Boys is just, hey, what's possible in this engine? Like, can we have the most fucked up crashes? Like, can we there's an episode arc where they download, there's a school bus mod, and there's a driver in the school bus. There's like a crash test dummy driver in the school bus. And there's like a 3-episode arc of them trying to figure out how to take the dummy out of the school bus by wrecking the school bus so hard that he flies out of the windshield. Like, that's like an unintended, that's like so many levels deep of like sandboxiness, because like the school bus doesn't even exist inside the game. Like making a weird mini game of trying to crash him through the windshield. Yeah, amazing. BeamNG.drive is a very good pick. I threw Besiege on here. We already talked about.
I threw Besiege too. Yeah.
I have a feeling we might have some of these in common. I put Grand Theft Auto 5, and that's what. Yeah,
see, that was one of the borderline ones.
Exactly. I know what you mean. It's a big open world game, but like I thought of how like you and I played that game, where because like. we played a weird, like, unintended version of GTA 5 where you get on a motorcycle and you turn on the stunt camera.
Yeah.
And then you just drive as fast as you can. And the thing with the stunt camera, or it's not stunt cam, what is scenic cam?
It's
or
like scenic camera, or it's scenic camera where it keeps
just
changing angles and as you like drive away,
Yeah.
and it's like air view, then behind
Yeah.
wheel,
and it's just fucking impossible to steer or know where your character is in relation to objects. So you end up with like these hilarious crashes. Anyway, yeah, just playing the game that way. Because like we're not playing the story. We're not even like we found a weird thing that is funny and we're like messing with the boundaries of it.
I feel like that always happens with any GTA game, is that you play it, you get through some of the story, and then you just kind of stop playing the like story and just start fucking with the game.
Yeah, exactly. And that feels very sandboxy to me.
Yeah, and one of the best things I love about GTA 5 is the mods that they now have for it. The the ones that just give you like superpowers, or like the Just Cause grapple hook.
Yes. Yeah.
Those are fun. There's like one where it's just like they call it like the black hole. So wherever you're standing, you can make things, just everything like in a radius, gravitate towards you and just start.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that.
There was like a Katamari mod where you can crash if whatever thing you touch with your car. Just now, it's like everything's all apart, and then it just starts rolling like a Katamari. It's
like that game has an engine that is flexible enough to allow for all that horse shit. Like that's what I mean by like sandboxy. I don't know.
Yeah. I guess I could see that. Okay. I put one on here, but I almost want to. I feel like it's just. I mean, it's like an obvious sandbox, a very obvious one, a very popular one.
Yeah. Same.
Minecraft.
Minecraft. Yeah, Minecraft.
Yeah, I mean, like.
Yeah, that was the other one I had. Yeah.
Granted, you can play the craft survival, but then there's also the sandbox mode where you can just build or blow up whatever the hell you want.
Yeah.
There's in the servers, there's coding where you can literally just like massively build things like crazy. I mean, Minecraft's pretty self-explanatory there.
But then like the crazy redstone shit allows for like building circuits.
Yeah,
so,
that's the thing. That's the thing that throws me like so like I get confused when I look at that.
You'll go to like YouTube and like somebody's like, hey, I designed a rudimentary processor in Minecraft, and it's like, oh, here's the bus, and like and it stores all the data here, and then the bits get pushed from here to here, and it's like, this is how a processor works, and I built it in Minecraft, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, yeah.
But yeah, like the going back to Mario Maker, when someone built a calculator.
Yeah, because I've seen calculators in Minecraft, but a calculator in Mario Maker is even crazier.
Yeah. Where you pick two numbers, the redstone stuff in Minecraft. Like I've seen someone build like a sorting machine, where like they just drop their items and then it automatically sorts them, or they put their items in a box and then it takes it out and moves them or something. It's something weird.
I think some of that is actually like pre-baked into the game now, but I know what you're talking about. I've seen that stuff before. That stuff was pre-baked into the game. People made like weird sorting machines and shit.
Yeah. Like early Minecraft was fun. Once they had integrated the redstone content, it started getting like really interesting. People were coming up with some weird contraptions.
Yeah, I can even like remember the old like Minecraft like update, like the redstone update. Yeah. Jesus, that I guess dates me. Yeah, or both of us. Anyway, no, that's a good one. That's a very good one. All right, I don't know. Do we want to rank these somehow? Do you have any others?
Actually, I had two more.
Oh shit!
I had one more on my list, but then I just thought of another one that was like, this one's actually pretty good, and we should consider it. The lesser one was Totally Accurate Battle Simulator.
Yeah.
That one's fun. But I mean, you can call that more of a simulator than a sandbox, but that's just one of those just kind of wonky fun.
There's a weird, like, I don't know where that line is between like, this is a simulation and this is a sandbox. And I think it comes down to the player. Like, how do you engage with this game?
About it is more of a simulator, because essentially you're just setting you're setting like a bunch of things and then letting it go, and then it's just running itself. So you're not really in that much control other than what's being placed.
I don't know. Like SimCity is like intended to be a simulation, but you could definitely just fuck with the simulation. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. Whatever.
But one that I thought that was much better and should really be considered is Dreams.
Oh yeah, that
is super sandbox.
Yeah, shit.
People have done some nutty things with that. It's like a sandbox for sandboxes. It's like sandbox Inception, because there's like some kind of weird back programming. I haven't even tried playing it yet. I want to play it, but I'm like scared of like
of what I'm gonna do.
Destroy the world. No, people have done like some crazy things with Dreams, where they've like built like entire racing games, or they've built
I've seen like people built games in Dreams. Like they built a game in a game. Yeah.
It's weird, but it's apparently really popular, and I mean, when you want to talk sandbox, that's like sandbox down to the programming level.
I can't believe I didn't even think of Dreams. That's a very good one. That should be like the number one. It's just, here is a sandbox.
Yeah, literally, that's what it is. Is like you are in control of the sandbox. You pick the assets. You pick the sounds. I've seen someone create like an entire synthesizer that you could synthesizer like music making machine and it just gives you a UI, and you just make music with it. And I would put Dreams at number one, because that essentially has been like the funny thing is that it's on the PlayStation.
Mm-hmm.
So like trying to wrap my head around that too.
That is weird, because you think of like all these like more complex and like open-ended like engines or simulation, and they're usually PC games. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Dreams is very good. I don't know, what's number two? Is it Minecraft? I feel like one of the OG sandboxes, right?
Yeah, I would say Minecraft kind of has it was one of the OG ones.
Those are the only two I think I really feel strong about. I don't I think you could put any other three in any.
Yeah, it's tough, because like now I'm thinking of another one. I never played this, but I know about it. That was probably more OG than Minecraft a bit. Is Gary's Mod.
Oh fuck. Yeah, that's another
Gary's
one.
Mod was like,
that's a huge one. There's an entire I would say Gary's Mod
is number 3.
Yeah, you're right. Gary's Mod like hit me in a weird place where like, because that was like super popular when I was in college, and I like didn't I don't know. I didn't really have a gaming PC or like any way to, I don't know. Yeah, that just came out at a weird time where I never really got to engage with Gary's Mod that much.
But people have done some. Done some crazy things with it and made entirely different games.
You're right. Okay, Dreams, Gary's Mod, Minecraft.
Okay, Minecraft's going 3. Okay,
then BeamNG. Like, I feel like
BeamNG's just fun for fun. Yeah, BeamNG.
Yeah.
If you want to have fun, just destroying vehicles and doing weird things, you could like. I just remembered in that game you can change the gravity too.
Oh yeah. Well, that was the other. You use gravity and everything floats out. You can have like negative gravity, and then you have positive gravity. And
the fun thing was to set negative gravity, let the car float up as high as it possibly can, and then just set the gravity all the way up and just see it go into the earth, or just seeing it crush itself on the ground. Just setting that gravity high was fun too.
Yeah, shit. That was a really good. Gary's Mod and Dreams. Yeah, good late additions.
Yeah.
So BeamNG. I don't know what else.
I had Planet Coaster.
Yeah, Planet Coaster is a good one. Why not?
Yeah,
Planet Coaster. All right. So top 5 sandboxes. We got Dreams, Gary's Mod, Minecraft, BeamNG.Drive, and I already forgot. Planet Coaster.
Planet Coaster,
which may or may not be in the series of Planet games. I don't know.
I mean, I would think so. It's the same like label that I don't know. It may not be the same developer though. I thought, you might be right.
Maybe it's all one publisher but different developer. I don't know. Whatever. Doesn't matter. Who cares?
Yeah. Moving on.
What are we moving on to? Oh, endorsements. You want to endorse some shit? Is that what we move on to? Yeah, I'm having a panic attack. What comes next in our? Yeah. Endorsements. Endorse. Let's endorse.
James is so lost without Leo. He's doesn't know what to do. So I can endorse. So obviously, as you know, I don't know if you got it recorded before, James, but I built new PC
Hell yeah, that looks
and new thing.
beautiful.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
So
LEDs and lights and
yeah.
fans.
So the difficult thing was it's too blurry. I'm not even gonna bother with it. So the difficult thing was, um, focus camera. Come on, Jesus. All right, maybe it's not gonna focus. I don't know why it's not. All right. Anyways, um, just
Blurry, Justin.
yeah. This is a
Just do
sensor.
the rest of the
This is late night
podcast
sensor.
with.
No.
Yeah. It's dreams. It's a tribute to Dream. We're like in a weird dreamland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So okay. So graphics card was complete bullshit, and I
Oh,
made
there
this
we go.
comment.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I made the comment before on previous podcasts that trying to find a graphics card was fucking impossible. So I just started going into things. I went online and saw who was checking cards and doing stuff. So there's a bunch of guys on YouTube who are live and are constantly checking stock on a bunch of websites. They have discords, they have a bunch of stuff, and I found this one guy. His account is fix it. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
I guess he does like computer things, but he has like an entire bot running that's checking stock on processors and graphics cards. And so I was following that, and I just had that going in the background, and I had his Discord up. His Discord bot like goes off when stock drops, and every now and again you would see something pop up on Amazon or something pop up on Newegg, but that's because typically it was third-party sellers dropping them. But the one nice thing was the guy had, I guess, an inside source into Best Buy, and he had said Best Buy was like the best chance of getting a card. When Best Buy drops cards, they'll drop a bunch, and they have a system set up to where they'll queue you to buy the card. So I got lucky, and he was talking about like they were anticipating that Best Buy was going to drop a certain day because it was a common day that they were dropping graphics cards. And he's like, I don't know if it's going to happen. My source says, it's not. It doesn't seem like it is. I guess maybe they push out an email or something in the company that's when they kind of know it's going to happen. But I was like, you know what? I'm gonna have all my tabs open. I'm already logged in. I'm gonna have like the cards picked out like in a bunch of tabs. I'm gonna be ready for if it does drop. Sure enough, Friday, I see a notification go off on his Discord, and I go, oh shit. It was Best Buy. I was like, oh shit, Best Buy's dropping. So I jump into Best Buy and I see all the cards come on to like being in cart. So I'm sitting here clicking every button to make sure I'm queued up for all of them. So it got scary because like the founders edition ones like all sold out. I was like, oh, I reloaded the pages and they're sold out. I was like, oh god, I'm like, come on, just give me one of them. Just give me one of them. I'm sitting here just looking at the pages and then finally, what it does is you click add to cart, but because there's such high demand, it puts you into like a queue room and it'll say, all right, this button's going to show loading, and when you're ready to purchase, the button's going to come up and you can go through and purchase it. So I sat there just looking at the pages with anticipation, and sure enough, one of them came up, and I was like, "Yeah!" Just went through the entire checkout process, and oh man, that was stressful.
So this is the story of how you secured a 3090.
Yes,
Nice.
yeah. So if you're looking for a 3090, one, follow these guys who have these bots going live because
Fix it
was the best one I found. He had with the Discord and everything. I had like Twitter and stuff going too, but that was kind of like a delayed alert anyways. But it seems like Best Buy was like the best thing. You just got to be ready for when Best Buy drops the cards, and you just got to make sure and the thing is, like, I watched some videos too on like what you should do to get a card. They were saying like you got to be logged in already. Make sure you're logged in, make sure your credit card stuff's already in, make sure your address is all set up, like so that way when you're clicking through to check out,
you just blast through it.
Yeah, you just blast through it. The thing that like I like lost my shit because it freaked me out was I went to go buy the card, and then Best Buy goes, oh, we need an authentication code that we just sent to your email. I'm like, no! I'm like screaming at Best Buy. I'm like, this is not the time to do this.
Well, they're trying to make sure you're not a bot, I think.
I know.
Yeah.
Which was nice. And then like there was some kind of protection thing that went off with the credit card I used, and I
Oh,
was like, "Oh, no, I don't need to do that. Just keep going. Just
spend all my money. Do it."
So no, I got it though.
That's fantastic.
Thanks to him. I sent him afterwards. I sent him a little donation because he was definitely a big help, knowing when that drop was going to happen. I was like, "Thank you, man."
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
it's like you did me a solid. The fact that I got the fact that I got a 3090 blew my mind, because I was like, I was starting to get to the point where I'm like, all right, I'll settle for an AMD, 6800 XT or something, or I'll go with AMD. Hell, I'll probably even get a 3060. I was getting to that point where I'll settle. Just give me anything.
I want anything, yeah.
And then I was like, I can get a 3090. Fuck you, I'm getting it. So.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I am going to endorse a real weird rabbit hole that I fell down the last couple of weeks. I'm going to endorse Blaseball. It is Blaseball. Blaseball.
BOIS?
BLASEBALL. Blaseball. It is I don't know what it is. It's a fantasy baseball league that itself is a fantasy. So, appropriately enough, we've been talking about simulations. It seems like these guys, this game company, has. I mean, this started maybe 4 or 5 months ago. They set up a simulation of teams playing baseball, and the simulation knows all of the rules of American baseball, right? And there's simulated players, right? So there's all these players, and they have all these stats, and the games are all simulated, right? And it goes like I think it's every second there is an event, right? And by that I mean, a pitcher throws a strike, or a pitcher throws a ball, or there's a foul ball, or there's a hit, or someone steals a base, or whatever. An event of baseball happens every second. And it posts for each game. This simulation posts, in a little text box, here's what happened in this simulation. And to the best of my knowledge, that's how it started. But this game has taken a very sharp cosmic horror theme and integrated that into this simulation. I don't even know how to explain Blaseball.
I don't even know what you're.
Okay, so the thing, so you can just go to blaseball.com and watch this simulation play out. You can also interact with this simulation by betting on games. Bet fake money, not real money. You bet fake money on these games, and you get more money if you correctly guess the outcomes, right? Then you can spend your fake money on votes to alter the rules of Blaseball. And this is where, over time, the simulation has come to resemble, it's still at its core the American sport of baseball, but over time, enough rules have been added that there's just a lot of weird horse shit that happened. So in the last, I've been paying attention since season 14. In the last season, by the way, every season is a week, right? That we play out an entire season of Blaseball in
Jesus, like how long?
Week, 1 week. So in the last season, I think it was the also all of the team names and player names also are fucking hilarious. I think it was the LA Stakes whose fans voted to install a grind rail in their home stadium. What does that mean? I don't know. And that's what, when you vote on the rules to alter what the simulation is, most of the time you don't even know what you're voting on. It's just like a weird thing. But they voted to install a grind rail in their stadium. What that practically means is there is a grind rail between second and third base. So like it'll be like, John Smith hops on the grind rail towards third base. He does a 360, fakey, grabby, no whammy, and he's safe. And like that, it says this all in the stupid text box, right? And that's
okay.
But like I was saying, there's also this weird cosmic horror element to the simulation. So players will die. Also, that's a thing.
Oh.
Players have been dying since season 2. And there's weird weather events that will take place, and like I think it's in a solar eclipse. Players have a chance of getting incinerated while playing baseball.
Oh,
so like your favorite player might just die, and that's it. They're dead. Except if you vote at the end of the season, like I said, you can vote on the rules of the simulation. You might vote to bring back your favorite player, which has happened. One of the very first people to die, I think the first player to die in baseball, was Jalen Hot Dog Fingers. And this is all real, by the way. This is a real thing.
Oh, that's a good name. I like that, Jalen Hot Dog Fingers.
Yeah. And his fans voted to bring him back from death. But it came at a great cost. Because then it was like he was unstable or something like that when you brought him back, or he had a debt to pay or something like that. And there's in the off season, there's this weird cosmic entity that like speaks in the like. The more I describe this, the more nonsense it sounds, just leaving my mouth.
And from the Lazarus pit.
Yeah, he recovered from the Lazarus pit, but he owed a debt. So he became unstable and was also killing, like dragging other people with it, like back to death. So he was killing a bunch of other players. It's a crazy fucking simulation. Craziness. Absolute craziness. My favorite team are the Canada Moist Talkers, 2-time defending champions of the Internet Baseball League. Are
the Moist Talkers?
The Moist Talkers, baby. Talk, spit, get hits. Stay wet, you bet.
Oh no.
Yes.
Oh god.
We are the second moistest team in the Internet Baseball League, behind the new expansion team, the Atlantis Georgias. It's
the Atlantis Georgias.
It's just all dumb horseshit. Anyway, if you want to, it's weird that we're talking about like simulations and like how you engage with all these things, because there's so many different weird ways you can. I've seen people engage with baseball. There are people, because each player has like actual stats, and most of the stats, some of the stats are like actual baseball stats. Like here's how good this player is at pitching. Here's how good this player is at batting. Here's how player, this good at base running, whatever. But then there's stats that are like, here's his favorite coffee type and his favorite pregame ritual. And like, here's how tragic he is. And it's just a rating of how tragic he is. And you're just like, what? And people have been like data mining baseball and trying to figure out how the simulation works based on results and what the player stats are. And they're trying to figure out how the simulation is actually governed by all the weird rules. That's one way. Other people just like there's an incredible amount of fan art. So like people be like, oh, I drew Jalen Hot Dog Fingers. Like, here he is. And like, like, I follow the Canada Moist Talkers on Twitter. I don't even have a Twitter, but I follow their Twitter. And there's just like, here's a bunch of fan art of like our starting lineup. And that's another way you can engage with it. Other people just enjoy betting on the games. Like there's a bunch of weird ways around. And other people are like the lore keepers, because there is a definite story that is being told by the developers. Like this whole weird cosmic, because in the last season, several stadiums became murder scenes. No one knew what that meant. And then like it would be like so-and-so comes up to bat, but instead he's investigating like the murder scene. And then it would be like, what does that mean? And then like so like maybe there's a murder we're supposed to be solving right now. I don't know. There are like characters that are like not. So the developers of the game actually have a Twitter account where they tweet in character. Like the Twitter account is called The Commissioner, who is the supposed commissioner of the baseball league, but they tweet in character, like as though this person was a real commissioner in the universe of baseball. It's fucking wild. If anything I just described sounds remotely interesting to you at all, go to blaseball.com, sign up, choose a favorite team, choose an idol, and you can start watching baseball. It's real fucking weird. And you should be a Moist Talkers fan because we're the best. Anyway, yeah, I think that's all I got. Yeah, it's a weird rabbit hole I've fallen into. The pandemic has done a number on me, Justin. Can you tell? Can you tell?
You're watching simulated baseball turn.
I'm watching simulated fantasy baseball. Help me. I need real human interaction. Jesus.
Well, speaking of, did you get your vaccine?
I am on the goddamn Florida government waiting list, and I haven't heard anything about it yet. So I'm wondering if I just need to just go to Walgreens or one of these pop-up places and just be like, shoot me up.
Yeah, I'm surprised. That's how I did it. Well, I mean, granted,
you were on the waiting list?
Not the waiting list. No, I just
went down to Walgreens or something.
Yeah, I popped up on CVS.
Oh, CVS.
Well, I had a note too, so I was able to use the note and just signed up for the vaccine, and that was it.
Nice.
Actually, I get my second one tomorrow.
Oh, fuck! You're gonna be fully vaccinated.
Yeah,
that's ready fantastic.
To go. Ready to go back to them bars. I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm fully vaccinated just to sit in my house.
That's what I'm afraid I'm gonna do too, because I don't I'm not gonna go fucking. I'm not gonna go to some club and party when I get a vaccine. I'm just gonna be all right, I guess I'm gonna go back and watch some more baseball now that I'm vaccinated. Anyway,
you'll just know you're safe.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't know. That's it, I guess.
Yeah.
We have plans for our next episode.
Episode, I think, is Snap.
Is what?
Was it Pokemon Snap?
That's 4 weeks from now. Our next
play the game because that's when it comes out. Yeah,
right. It's not even out yet. Our next episode is supposed to be Bravely Default, but I don't know about that because I don't know. Well,
yeah, that one's up in the air.
It might be Bravely Default. It might also be Trials of Fire. It might be neither of those two. I don't know. Who knows? Our next episode. Well, I don't know. We got ideas. That's all we got. Yeah. I don't know. Anything else?
Stay safe.
Stay safe. Don't go clubbing unless you got that vaccine. Go get that vaccine. Do it. Yeah. Yeah. And get moist, baby.
God damn it. Can we not end this podcast on a sexual note?
Get moist. Welcome to the Moist Zone. All right, for the Good Games podcast. My name is James.
And I'm Justin.
We'll see you next time. Get moist, baby.
And I managed to score a 30-90 too, which is...
I don't know how you did that. That's incredible.
It was... I suck dick now.
Oh, okay. Well, hey, you got to do what you got to do.
No, it's being persistent. But anyways, go ahead.
That's weird that you say that, because my wife Jess just this morning came to me and she's like, I had a dream last night. I'm like, oh yeah? She's like, yeah, I had a dream that this guy came to our house and stole your 3080. I'm like, oh, okay. And then we went after him, and then we tracked him down and we found him, and he was like, oh, I'm not giving it back. And I'm like, well, you got to give it back. My husband loves this video card. And he's like, well, he's got to suck my dick. And that was what happened in a dream. So it's weird that you say that.
Okay. Well, I have a 3090. I don't know why I would want your 3080. So get out of here with
it. You were the guy. You were the guy who came to my house in the dream. Is that what you're implying? Is that
no?
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
That's a fun dream to have.
Yeah. Anyway, that was total nonsense and relevant to no one.